So what is that blue? Coming up, 2 ways to achieve it. Okay, what is that blue? Well, there's lots of different ways of getting to it. I think in this instance probably the easiest place to start is with white, titanium white, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue and cerulean. Someone please tell me how to pronounce that properly. Anyway, we've got these 3 blues. Now from the very top of the sky, the zenith where it's the darkest, is the ultramarine. You can use a little bit of French ultramarine for this. It's slightly purplier, which is quite nice. All I'm going to do with this, because it's a very, very transparent colour, is put the tiniest little bit of white into it, just to bring it down and make it a little bit more translucent. When I say bring it down, I mean just kind of land it, rather than it being like glass levels of transparency. That just makes it a translucent paint. So that's pretty much it for the first one. Just a tiny little bit of white. One last finishing touch with that. You'll notice a little smidge here of cadmium orange. I'm just going to put the tiniest little bit of cadmium orange into this, just to neutralise that blue just a little bit, because the tube blues are very, very vivid. A little bit more, I think. We just want to grey it down a little bit. Now as you go further up in the sky you might get some violet, and in the artist quality paints there is ultramarine violet as well, which is a lovely colour to just mix through. You can also use French ultramarine, but I'm just starting off here just with ultramarine. I think we're pretty close there. Okay, so next we've got the middle of the sky. In the middle of the sky I'm going to use cobalt blue. Now, cobalt blue again is a very, very vivid blue. We're going to need to water that down just a touch, a little bit of white to tint it out, get it to the right kind of value. That's not too light, not too dark. And again, really intense blue straight from the tube, as well as needing a good bit more white in it there. That's better. We also need to neutralise the blue there. Well, just a thin layer on the palette knife there. Just bring that in. A little bit more just on the corner. Okay, there we go. That's the blue for the middle of the sky. And then the last one is the cerulean. And as with the others, it's not a very convincing colour straight out of the tube. A bit of white into that is going to help us. We need quite a lot of white into this one. Although we're looking to just take the edge off the colour. Ordinarily, I recommend starting with the amount of white that you want and mixing the paint into it. I appreciate I'm not doing that this time, but it's I'm quite used to this stuff. A little bit more white, I think. That's better, that's kind of where we need to be. And as with the others, we just want to take that sort of turquoisey edge off it, just with a little spot. Try and pick some up, there it is, a little spot of the orange into that, just to neutralise it, grey it out a touch. More white as well. We want this to be quite a washed out colour. So that's it down by the horizon. There we go. Don't forget the orange, otherwise your tubes will look unrealistic. Just a tiny little touch of the orange to bring those blues to being slightly more believable. Don't go too far with it though, otherwise it will look unrealistically orange. Anyway, bit of practice for you there. Definitely give that one a go. And for a quick sky, ultramarine, cobalt blue in the middle, and then cerulean or cerulean down at the horizon. Now there is one other way of arriving at the same kind of gradient, and that's just using ultramarine. So if we just put a bit of ultramarine down here, I'm just going to get some of the cadmium orange and mix this one in right at the top here just to calm this blue down just a touch. And then, as you'll have seen me do in the plums video, I'm going to actually mix some white through this, and this is a real quick and easy way of doing it. Just sort of pulling in as much as you need at the edge as you go. Let's just mix all of that in for now. A little bit more at the top. Okay, and with the extra bit of orange through that, that's probably a more realistic zenith colour anyway. So we'll now bring some more white in. Bring that down to the middle. And bring some more white in. Bring that right down to the horizon. Just pulling down as much or as little of those colours as you need on the way down. So that's another really easy way of getting that colour gradient. Then apply it onto your painting in stripes and blend between the various different areas of paint on your background to get that lovely fountain fill effect. As I mentioned on a previous sky video, with this kind of thing you can, the recommendation would be do this way if you're going to have a continuous sky with no clouds in it, but if you're going to have clouds with just little pockets of blue here and there poking through the clouds, you get a much more vivid picture if you run with the actual tube colours. So there you go, lovely sky. Nice and easy to represent on a canvas. Give it a go. If that's been useful to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thanks very much for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.